Hi, everyone. Welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Steven.
I'm Anthony.
Today's date is May the 26th, and we're looking at day 2 on pages 46 to 49 under destinations.
我们今天呢要继续介绍我们昨天介绍过的。好，我们昨天介绍了这个鱿鱼游戏的迷宫，到底它是从什么样的地方来汲取灵感的呢？原来是在西班牙的这个地方 Calpe 这个地方，还有一个非常棒的建筑叫做红墙。那我们昨天简单的介绍了一下它。除了这个去提供鱿鱼游戏灵感之外呢，它也有这个纪念碑谷这样的游戏，也是利用它这个建筑风格来当做原型。我们昨天简单的介绍这个建筑物本身，我们今天的这个重心会把它放在这个建筑师Ricardo Bofill 这个人他的背景啊等等。
And just once again to introduce the title, the unusual architecture of Spain's La Muralla Roja, a surreal building that catches the public's eye.All right, let's get started.
The unusual architecture of Spain's La Muralla Roja. Ricardo Bofill aimed to create something truly distinctive when he designed La Muralla Roja. Although he was trained in classical architecture, Bofill earned a reputation as an innovator.His work often blends traditional and postmodern elements. Postmodern structures typically display irregular or complex patterns and a lack of symmetry. Bofill drew inspiration from the Kasbah, a type of fortress commonly found in North Africa. Usually built from brick or clay, Kasbahs often include terraced living spaces and exposed staircases. The upper sections of La Muralla Roja echo the ramparts of these ancient fortresses. The building's layout is based on the Greek cross, a symmetrical shape with arms of equal length, which can be clearly seen from above. This geometric shape forms the foundation of the entire structure. The outside of the building is painted in different shades of red. In contrast, the stairs and walkways are painted in shades of blue, from light sky blue to deep indigo and violet. With its bold color combination and architectural style, La Muralla Roja has become a popular destination that people want to see in person while visiting Spain.
Ricardo Bofill aimed to create something truly distinctive when he designed La Muralla Roja.
好，我们来看第一段第一句话哦。好，我们看到这个名字 Ricardo Bofill， 好，就是我们说的这个里卡多·波菲尔这位建筑师。我们不要忘记了 architect。好，如果说是 architect 是人，好，是建筑师的意思。Aimed to create something truly distinctive. When you say something that is distinctive, 然后当你今天谈到说是用 distinctive 这个时候，第一个它是 different， 而且是那种独树一格的 unique， 好，非常非常特别的 unique 这个字 unique unique。When he designed the Muralla Roja， 他在建筑出这个设计出这个红墙的时候，他就是努力的要去打造出一种独树一帜的风格。
Yes, so here we see aimed to create. When you aim to do something, that means you have the goal in mind to do something. Okay, so you aim to create something truly distinctive. Here we have this adverb truly, which is another one to see similar to completely. Okay, completely distinctive. When something is distinctive, it means it's very different from other things. In Chinese, we would say probably 很有辨识度的.
Yeah.
Okay, 完全有辨识度. So truly is an option to use for an adverb here. Okay.Although he was trained in classical architecture, Bofill earned a reputation as an innovator.
Wow, 你看看这边这句话哦。Although he was trained in classical architecture, classical 指的是古典的，不然是 classical music 古典的这个音乐等等。那这个地方提到是古典的建筑，他虽然是接受古典建筑学的这种训练，但是怎么样，他很敢创新哦。Bofill earned a reputation. Reputation 就是 your name， 好，你的名誉、名声，他赢得了一个名声 as 这个介系词呢，指的是以什么样的身份？什么样的身份呢 ？An innovator。innovator 这个字呢是来自于 innovate，I N N O V A T E。innovate you create something new。Something that is daring， 好，就是别人是很大胆的，然后很人家没有做过的这种情况下的话 that makes you an innovator。好 ，innovator 记得是 or 结尾，好，指的是这种革新者、创新者。
And then the adjective that is connected to innovator is innovative. Okay, so an innovator creates innovative things, and as a noun, it's innovation. Okay,
Yeah.
so innovators create innovations, okay, things that are original or have never been done before. And here we see earned a reputation. Another verb you could use there is gained a reputation, G-A-I-N. And I'm using the past tense here, so adding ed.
Yeah.
Okay. His work often blends traditional and postmodern elements.
好，我们来看这句话 ，his work。好，这个地方特别注意一下，他的这个作品呢，这个 work 这个字呢，要特别小心的是，它只有在当作品的时候，有可能会加上 s。好，在这边的话，你如果要加 his works 也不是不行。好，在这里他的作品等等，不管是文学作品、建筑作品、艺术作品等等，只有这种情况下 work 会加 s。平常只要说 I have a lot of work， 有很多工作的时候，我们也都不会加 s 的哦。啊，特别小心这个地方。他说 his work often blends 这个字就是融合的意思。像你在家里头，如果要喝点果汁，你会拿出一个 blender， 好，果汁机，就是把东西啪打在一起嘛。所以 blend 这个字本身就是融合 mix 的那种感觉。
Yes.
Blends traditional and postmodern elements， 就是把那种传统的，还有呢 postmodern 后现代的这些元素 elements 把它融合在一起。
So elements in this sentence, 因为 element 也可以是元素, right? Kind of like fire, water,
Yeah.
wind, blah, blah, blah. And here it just means like 一些的部分, traditional and postmodern elements. So that's another word you can use for 部分, 成分.
Yeah.
Postmodern structures typically display irregular or complex patterns and a lack of symmetry.
哇，你看面这句话里头，我第一个想到就是 complex。我们上次不是有提到说，它里面有50个单位，它是一个社区大楼。我们那时候讲的是 complex， 重音在前面。然后呢 ，Stephen 老师有特别提醒说，我们之后会碰到它的形容词 complex， 记得重音要摆在后面咯。这里的话你就看到了 complex。patterns， 所以整句话他说 postmodern structures， 好，它的这种后现代的建筑呢 ，typically display irregular， 好，这种不规则的 or complex patterns， 好，很复杂的这种图案 ，and a lack of symmetry。symmetry 就是指对称的感觉，他故意把它弄得不对称，这样看起来的话，画面不会这么呆板。
Yeah, so a lack of something 就是缺少这个东西 so a lack of symmetry 就是缺少这个对称感 Okay, and then here we see typically display. You could also say postmodern structures usually show irregular or complex patterns. But here, of course, the author is trying to, give you guys some more options and adverbs and verbs. So it's always good to use these new words and try to include them in your writing as well. And just to give you a little bit of kind of information about postmodernism, because I wasn't very familiar with it, I looked it up. Postmodernism kind of occurred after the the Second World War. So a lot of people were questioning the meaning of life. Is the traditional way always going to be the best way to do things? Maybe there are different ways to do things that we've been doing for so many generations. So a lot of people took art or architecture or different ways of thinking and they try to add in new ways of doing it, trying to break away from the traditional ways of doing things. Yeah, because obviously the traditional ways caused a big world war. So let's try to do things a little bit different. So maybe that's why Ricardo Bofill used, even though he was trained in classical architecture, he used the postmodern elements in his work. Yeah. So it's interesting to know the history and the reasoning behind the way that people create things.
原来如此，所以这个地方 Stephen 老师告诉我们说，其实稍微知道一下后现代相关的知识，差不多是在2战之后，人们对于说古代的这些之前的这些早期的一些想法传统，真的都是对的吗？ 开始去怀疑，开始去颠覆，开始有新的做法。所以说，我们今天这个主角 Ricardo Bofill， 虽然他受的是古典的这种建筑学的训练，但是他就想说，我难道不能创新一点点吗？所以就开始去打破原本那种你这个结构啊，就是要对称啊，就是要类似要符合什么规范，他们要试着要去颠覆前面人所创造出来的框架跟界限，所以在这个地方，这个 a lack of symmetry 就是指这个对称。其实事实上，这是一个在建筑上面应该蛮大的一个突破。
Yeah.
我们有机会的话，在后面还会看到另外 symmetry 这个字的形容词 symmetrical。好，在后面我们就会碰到咯。
All right, let's take a short break. All right, so in yesterday's lesson, we saw the verb inspired by, saying that the building La Muralla Roja inspired the set of, or believed to have inspired the set of the Korean drama Squid Game. So here we're going to see the noun form. Bofill drew inspiration from the Kasbah, a type of fortress commonly found in North Africa.
好，我们来看这一段的第一句话，他说 Bofill 我们的这个建筑师呢，drew inspiration from 就是从什么地方去汲取这个灵感。那这边的话 inspiration 老师刚刚也提到说，我们在之前有学过它的字 inspire， 然后也介绍到 inspiration 这个名词嘛，对不对？在这边就学到了跟它搭配的动词，我们可以使用 draw， 但是这边的话用过去式变成 drew inspiration from the Kasbah。Kasbah 它是一种，它这个地方一看到这种，应该是一个我们不认识的一种东西，对不对？然后它后面马上告诉你，逗号 ，a type of fortress 堡垒 commonly found in North Africa。好，在北非常常看到，类似像 Morocco 在那个摩洛哥的话，你就有机会看到这种 Kasbah 这样类型的这种堡垒。
Yeah, so the verb draw in this sentence, the past tense becomes drew.We know 画画 is draw, but it can also mean like 吸收.
Yes.
你吸收. So 它吸收一些 inspiration from the Kasbah. If you have a hard time with this verb, you could use verbs like got. Bofill got inspiration. Or Bofill took inspiration from the Kasbah. But draw is a very good verb to use here. Usually built from brick or clay, Kasbahs often include terraced living spaces and exposed staircases.
好，我们来看一下它的风格到底是什么样的呢？他就说了 ，usually built from brick or clay， 它的这个建筑的材料呢，往往是这种砖啦，或是陶土啊，来做建造这个 Kasbah。然后他说 ，Kasbahs often include 都包含了 terraced living spaces and exposed staircases， 而且呢，它这个是外露的一个楼梯，这样感觉上看起来就是一体成型，而且很有记忆点。
In exposed staircases, the word exposed, this adjective means like 被暴露
暴露出来，
暴露出来，你可以看得到。The upper sections of La Muralla Roja echo the ramparts of these ancient fortresses. You know, actually, I really rarely hear the word ramparts, which means a defensive wall of a castle or a fortress. The only time I've ever heard it is in the national anthem of the United States.
Ramparts.
Yeah, because that's the only time I've ever heard that word. So when I saw this in the article, it was like, I've actually never known what ramparts means. It's just a defensive wall of a castle or fortress.
没错，没错。老师呢这边有提到，如果说你有机会去听那个美国国歌的话，你有机会在国歌的歌词里面看到 ramparts 这个字。然后在这边的话，他说平常不会用到的 ramparts， 那种感觉很像是，如果你在看那个。如果你有玩过任何那种古代的那种游戏啊等等，它的那个有点像是城墙的上面，你可以架枪，然后可以去打，还有一个一个有防御，然后同时有攻击的那个效果，那个叫 rampart， 它是主要是防御工事之用。在这边的话，你看到他说的 upper section 指的意思就是部分，那个红墙的上面的那些结构 of La Muralla Roja， 红墙上部分的那个结构呢，echo the ramparts of these ancient fortresses， 指的就是它能够去呼应那个 Kasbah 这样子的建筑风格上面堡垒的那个城墙的部分。所以说今天你可以去看到说，原来那个红墙上面那个有种高高低低的，你可以有点像是在这种城堡的那个外围那个地方那种感觉，那种设计其实是来自于 Kasbah 古城堡城墙的那种建筑的概念。
Yes. All right, let's take a short break. The building's layout is based on the Greek cross, a symmetrical shape with arms of equal length, which can be clearly seen from above.
好，我们来看一下这一段的第一句话哦。The building's layout 这个字的意思呢，肯定是指一个房子的布局啊，或者是一个房子那种平面图，什么东西的配置都可以用 layout 这个字。如果说今天谈到的是这种文字文章的话，你可以说是排版。好，这种东西的话都可以这样子用。The building's layout is based on the Greek cross， 它指的就是那种希腊的这种十字，来这样当做是建筑的这种概念基础。A symmetrical shape 啊，你看到这个字，我们前面不是有提到那个字 symmetry， 对不对？这边的话形容词出现咯 symmetrical 啊，重音要不要往后一点 ？symmetrical 要小心。A symmetrical shape with arms of equal length 是对称的等长的这种十字形 ，which can be clearly seen from above。从空中去看的话，你可以清楚的看到它的轮廓。
Yes. So here, because it's a cross, and cross has like two sides, we call those arms. 因为不是真的手，
对，不是手，
就是看起来只是手。So that's why we're using the word arms here. And they're of equal length. 所以它们是一样的长度，在两边都是一样的长度。I pronounce that word length with an A sound, but some people might pronounce it with an E, like an I sound.
Length.
Sound. Length. So it can be pronounced length or length. Just depends on your own preference.
没错。
This geometric shape forms the foundation of the entire structure.
好，我们来看下面这句话。This geometric shape， 好 ，geometric 这个几何的，好，就可以用这个 geometry 这个字把它变成形容词。Geometric shape forms the foundation of the entire structure。它这种几何形状构成了整个这种建筑的基础啊，可以这样讲 ，foundation 这个字就是这个基础的意思。如果说今天你要说 my teacher laid a strong foundation for me， 比方说今天他帮我建立起了一个非常非常坚实的 a strong foundation， 指的就是他帮我打下很好很好的基础。你可以用 lay L-A-Y 这个字来表达说对帮什么东西建立起很好的基础。
Yeah, so foundation here you could also use the word base. 也是基础的意思 but I like forms the foundation. Sometimes in writing we like to use like the same letter. Like it's called alliteration. Yeah, alliteration just means that in a sentence you use the same letter to start certain words. A lot of times in English we believe that alliteration can help a sentence look very like just like a very strong sentence or one that is more memorable or easier to read. Obviously, you can't overdo it and have every word start with the same letter. But sometimes having little pairs like forms the foundation is just kind of makes it rolls off the tongue very smoothly.
讲起来很顺口。
对，顺口是 roll off the tongue.
没错。
The outside of the building is painted in different shades of red.
好，我们来看一下，说 the outside of the building， 好，这个结构的这个外墙呢，好。它 is painted in different shades of red， 它是用不同深浅的这种红色去把它漆上去的哦。在这里的话，你看到 shades 指的是指那种颜色的那种深浅，加了多少黑色的元素在里面，它形成了一种类似像光谱一样的感觉，只是同一个色调。OK， 所以这边的话，你有机会看到 shade 这个字来表达跟这个颜色有关系的，用同一个色系但是不同的色调。
Yeah, so one thing I want to call attention to this sentence is when you're painting something with a color, we'll say paint something in that color. So here it is painted in red, but because it's in different shades of red, that's why we have more words rather than just the color. 因为它是不同红色的那个颜色，
对，
程度的颜色。Here we see shade. I want to talk about the word shade. When you're, let's say you're under the sun, the summer sun, and you want to get somewhere where it's a little bit cooler, usually we'll run to the shade.
所以在这个阴影的地方，有阴影的地方躲起来。
Yeah, but if you think about it, when you're outside and you're in the shade, 这些阴影的地方, it's not completely dark, right? It's a little bit of a 渐层的暗度. So here, just think about when you say different shades of red, 它就是不同的渐层的红色。
对，
也许这样想，你可以比较记得 shades and different shades of red. Another word you could probably use is hues and different hues of red. H-U-E. Okay, that's something that we see that's probably a little bit more professional in terms of like the professional art world, you'll see that more. But usually
Yes.
we say in different shades of red. In contrast, the stairs and walkways are painted in shades of blue, from light sky blue to deep indigo and violet.
好，我们来看一下 in contrast， 你看跟红色的颜色去做对比 ，in contrast 就是相比，就是像这种用特殊的这种颜色做对比 ，contrast 这个字本身就是对比。相比之下呢，还有怎样 ？The stairs and walkways， 好，任何的这种楼梯啦、走道啊 ，are painted in shades of blue， 啊，是用这个蓝色调去继续呈现，所以它那个对比色会很强烈，对不对 ？From light blue。Light sky blue 从那种浅的那种天蓝色 to deep indigo and violet， 好，指的就是这种很那种深红橙黄绿蓝靛紫的靛就是 indigo， 然后 violet 的话就是蓝紫色，总而言之是蓝色调的这种渐层。老师刚刚用到这个词，我觉得很准哦，就是那种渐层感。所以说今天任何的这种建筑物外墙啊各方面用红色，然后走道的话用蓝色，这样弄起来视觉上就是非常非常的壮观，好，非常非常的酷。
And then if you can call attention to how I read that word blue, the way I chose to read it is I went upwards in the intonation because I wanted to kind of show that it was in contrast to the shades of red. So in the previous sentence, I said is painted in different shades of red. In contrast, the stairs and walkways are painted in shades of blue. OK， 我往上，只是让你可以知道跟 red 是有一个差别，一个差异。So that's just a technique when you're reading to let the reader or the listener or the reader or the listener in this situation to kind of catch on to that contrast. It just helps.
Yes，
Okay,
没错。
let's take a short break. With its bold color combination and architectural style, La Muralla Roja has become a popular destination that people want to see in person while visiting Spain.
好，我们来看最后一段的这句话很长，对不对？但是不用怕，我们一步一步来。With its bold color 啊，我们提过这个大胆的用色，这个 bold 这个字的话，就是指很大胆的那种感觉。With its bold color combination， 用色搭配很大胆。And architectural style， 它的建筑风格有这些东西呢。La Muralla Roja 啊，我们的红墙 has become a popular destination。The destination 指的意思是目的地，或是大家会想要去观光的这个地方。OK，that people want to see in person. I want to see the Red Wall in person， 就是我想要亲自到访这个地方。While visiting Spain， 然后只要去西班牙的时候，务必要亲自到访，实际的去 witness。我们之前有用到这个字 witness， 实际的去亲眼目睹它的这个厉害，它这个外观啊，还有它里面的这种整个让你觉得很震撼的感觉。
Yeah, so bold color combination, because Anthony also has already mentioned the adjective vibrant. Okay, but bold color is like an adjective we often use when we're talking about a color that's very bright or it catches your attention. Also, I want to talk about the word destination. Because in Western culture, we don't really believe in 缘分. Like, we're not really as much like believing in things like, like 你的命中注定. Yeah, we believe in free will.
Yeah.
Free will is 自由意志. But here, destination, I think, is derived from the word destiny.
Yeah.
Okay, destiny is like the closest thing we have to like 你的命中注定的缘分.
缘分 Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So destination is kind of like
注定要去一趟
You have to go. It's like somewhere that everyone wants to go, everyone wants to see because it's beautiful or unique. And in this situation, we're talking about La Muralla Roja. So hopefully in today's lesson and yesterday's lesson, you learned not just a lot about English, but maybe you'll have some interest in going and visit La Muralla Roja yourself.
没错
See it in person.
Yay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.